Hello, sports fans. My name's Harold Weber. Welcome to another edition of Weber on Sports Express. Thank you for your comments for my debut show last week. Some good ones, some constructive criticism. We'll try to get better as weeks go by. Hey, to open up the show, I would like to say hi to a couple of my friends. One near Pittsburgh, my legendary buddy Mark Sharman. They call him the Shark. He's a regular listener to my radio show, and I understand he's going to be checking on the video each and every week here on FingerLakes1.com. I would be remiss if I didn't say hello to a couple of my buddies from the Valley, Wilkes-Barre, PA, John Masley, Mazamania, and David Haynes. Good to have them along as well. Well, today we're going to play a little word game. I'm going to throw out a word and talk to that word. The first word is idiot. I guess there are certain pet peeves that Harold Weber has as I approach my 66th birthday, Route 66. I must think that nothing more irritates me than watching a professional golf tournament on television, and there's usually one idiot or several idiots on the PGA Tour that yells out, "Get in the hole!" Now that may sound lame and stupid, and it really is, because folks, they're yelling it as a person with a driver is trying to make contact with a golf ball off a tee, some 470-yard par 4, and they scream it out. It is ridiculous, and I would hope that Tim Finchem somehow finds a way to rid ourselves of the idiot or idiots that continue to scream that on PGA Tour events via television. What really surprised me is it happened last week in the Masters. Having been there for WSFW Radio in the late 70s, the Masters runs their tournament like Attica State Prison. I can assure you, since I heard it last week, if they identified the person or persons doing it, they would have had their patron badge ripped off their chest. There's no place for that in the world of professional golf. Let's hope and pray in my lifetime we see an end to it. The next word is fool. Let's talk about the NFL. You think the NFL stands for the National Football League. I think it stands for numbskulls, fools, and lugheads. Here they are, the two warring parties, continuing now, based on a court order, they're continuing to mediate their contract. They don't have a contract. However, there's an $8.5 billion pie to split up. What's it do to us, the fan? Nothing. What's it do to all the people that plan on the NFL in their cities to make money? Nothing. They have no way to prepare for a possible no football in 2011. I hope and pray they bring common sense to the table, and I understand from the last report there's like $320 million apart. That's a lot of money to you and me. But when you compare it to $8.5 billion to split up, that's peanuts. Let's hope and pray we get an NFL contract real soon and get back to watch what I term the best sport in the world. You know something? As sports unleashes itself in the Finger Lakes, as soon as we get through the monsoon rains that hit this weekend, we're going to be seeing baseball, lacrosse, basketball, all kinds of sports being played. Tennis, golf, you name it, it'll be played. And I think the word hero really needs to be brought up here as well. To all the people that I see as I drive around schools and by playgrounds as I'm traversing through the Finger Lakes region, I see people that are 17 years old, juniors and seniors. I see young adults. I see senior citizens helping out kids of all ages in their sport of love. For those people, don't get a dime for their talents, don't get a dime for their expertise. They just do it because they want to make a difference in children, and I think it's wonderful. And to me, here on Weber on Sports Express, if you are involved in helping kids, whether you're in Auburn, Canandaigua, Seneca Falls, Waterloo, or wherever, you are my hero. Well, speaking of heroes, I was very happy to see that Jim Spina, my good friend, who's the head of the Seneca Falls Recreation Department for the town of Seneca Falls, he brokered the idea of renaming Kids Territory on Bayard Street in Seneca Falls. Kids Territory, a place that kids frequent quite often to have fun. Well, it's going to be renamed in honor of a young man who passed away at an early age, Jerry Galusha. I didn't know Jerry that well. I heard about him. Jerry Galusha left us way too early. He's in heaven smiling right now. But what's important to realize that Jerry spent his whole life spending his own money, his own time to do a better job in letting kids play sports. His probably major was lacrosse, but if somebody didn't have a stick, he went out and bought it out of his own money. The Jerry Galushas of the world are far and few between. For Jim Spina, the rec director, to make that idea come true, along with Peter Same and the Town Board of Seneca Falls to agree to it. Kids Territory on Bayard Street in Seneca Falls will be named the Jerry Galusha Memorial Playground. As far as giving tribute to people, it's not overdone. As Jerry Galusha looks down from heaven, he will say, they're doing that for me. You're right, Jerry. You deserve it because you did so much while you were on this earth. And I know up in heaven, as you look down, forevermore, you will be looking at kids enjoying themselves. And you, of course, were instrumental in making that happen. You know, a lot of discussions, ladies and gentlemen, the word is smart. A lot of discussions about Kemba Walker of Connecticut. Would he come back? The phenomenal player that took Connecticut to the national title for the NCAA basketball championships. Would he come back and complete his senior year or continue his education? Or would he turn pro? Let me think about this. Having never went to college, let me think. Lectures, homework, studies. Living in a dorm. That's A. B is sitting down and having somebody push across 8 to 10 million a year. Let me think about how I would make that decision. Be smart. He was smart. He's taking the cash. Ladies and gentlemen, unless you're Donald Trump's son and you have a chance to go back for your senior year, that's nice. But if you have a chance to make 8 or 10 million guaranteed money for the NBA, take the cash and run. To me, smart decision by Kemba Walker. And you know something? There's a word called bizarre. In all the years that I've been following sports, and I started following sports when I was 7, probably 1952-ish, as I approached my 66th birthday. Let me tell you something. I thought I knew of some dazzling stats, some bizarre statistics, but I heard of one the other night that just went over my head. I didn't realize this. Let's flash over to the Baltimore Oriole baseball team, who, by the way, a shout out to Tommy Hillmeyer, talking proud about his Orioles. What have they lost? 7 or 8 in a row now, Tommy? They're back to where they belong, near the basement. But there's a gentleman who plays for the Baltimore Orioles who used to play with Arizona. His name is Mark Reynolds. How bizarre of a statistic is this? Think about you as a sports fan and think about all the stats that you have compiled in your brain. Think about this one. In 3 years, the last 3 years, he has had 656 strikeouts. That is a Major League Baseball record. But I got one that topped that. Last year, in 2010 baseball season, Mark Reynolds, who now plays for Baltimore, he batted a .198. You know how many strikeouts he had? 210. His strikeout total, ladies and gentlemen, was 30 or 40 more than his batting average. Think about it, you baseball purist. And I'm throwing this out to Ann Suffredini and Billy Rutz, who think they know a lot about baseball. Think about that bizarre statistic. More strikeouts than your batting average. Unheard of? You better believe it. Bizarre? You better believe it. And I wrap up my show on a Weber on Sports Express with the word pity. Let's not show pity to Kobe Bryant. Recently he was accused, allegedly, of making a gay slur toward a referee. As the playoffs are now underway in the NBA, it would be easy for the commissioner to lay down the law and punish Kobe Bryant by suspension. You know and I know that would never happen. He is a marquee player in a marquee market. TV ratings, baby, LA. So what does he do? He fines Kobe Bryant $100,000. To myself, to Jimmy Senecropi, to the people that are normal people, $100,000 is unimaginable of a dollar figure. To Kobe Bryant, he turned to the NBA's office and said, "Follow me." He walked into his locker and handed him $100,000 out of his locker. Take a dollar out of your wallet, rip it up, throw it over your back shoulder. That's what a $100,000 fine means to Kobe Bryant. He's a multi-millionaire, so to fine him $100,000 is nothing. So don't worry about the word pity. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this show with some comments. I hope that you'll join my radio show on Finger Lakes News Radio. I'm on every Sunday morning, 8 to 9 on WGVA, 1240 on the AM dial, and also over in the Cayuga County area, WAUB 1590 on the AM dial and 98.1 on the FM dial. Thanks for joining me. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, that's a look at sports my way.